All right, you guys, so I'm back. This week was an amazing week. It was the most incredible experience ever. I cried, I laughed, and I'm just gonna tell you guys what happened. We invited our top customers to a private dinner. Our top customers is called the CurlMix Clique. And at this dinner, we invited our customers who spent over $3,000 with us to have one-on-one dinner with Tim and myself and our marketing team it was a rooftop dinner at the VU restaurant here in Chicago. It's one of my favorites because you can literally see an amazing view of the entire city. And I personally feel like the South Side view is the best side because if we were downtown proper, you don't get to see the glory of downtown. But if you're on the South Side, looking toward the downtown area, you see how beautiful it is. And my customers flew in from Tampa, Florida, where it was 80 degrees. And mind you, there was a blizzard in Chicago. I had one customer, Jeannie, she drove in from Cincinnati, Ohio. She's over 65 years old, and she drove in the snow by herself for almost 15 to 20 hours to get here for this dinner. We also met Phyllis, who's a longtime CurlMixer, who's using CurlMix to kind of bond with her stepdaughter and her family. We also met Dina, who found CurlMix while she was on her journey with her sister. Her sister had cancer, and so she found CurlMix in that time, and she learned to manage her hair and really love it and enjoy it. And she found CurlMix during that moment. And then we also met Gail, who is such a huge fan of the brand that she literally wrote me a check for $350 for our team to have lunch. And this experience was, and I cannot forget Nanette. She came up from Tampa, Florida. But this experience it made me cry because I did not realize how important we were to people. I spend most of my days behind my laptop, trying to run the business, trying to make decisions, trying to work with my accountants and my attorneys and our marketing team and our operations team just to make everything flow. And I'm always putting out fires that, sometimes you might forget that there's a real human being with real issues and real people who love them on the other side of that order. And to hear how CurlMix impacted them and the fact that some of them drove 20 hours in the snow to get there. Oh my gosh, I literally cried at that moment. And I'm not like a sap. Like, I don't just cry at the drop of a hat. Maybe like a really good movie or like This Is Us, which is my favorite TV show ever. I cry on that one, all the time. But like, generally, I'm not a crier. But I was literally like they were like, my team was having like, "Are you okay, Kim?" And I'm like, I'm fine. And it was just kind of like, they gave more to me than I feel like I even gave to them. And we spent a pretty penny on that dinner, y'all. But it was to spare no expense. Like, we wanted to make them happy. And I think the lesson in this is like, this is amazing for us, but also the lesson for an entrepreneur, for somebody who is looking to go into business, is that you realize you don't have a business if you don't have a community. You don't have a community of people who are able to build meaningful relationships around your brand. It's gonna be very hard for you to grow and to create something that matters to other people. So I'm having a lesson in community. I spent so many years going to expos to the point where I was anti-events. Because I would go to expos, we would lug hundreds of boxes to expos. We would spend days on our feet, 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day. Well, actually, it's like 12 hours because you set up the booth, you make sure everything is in the right place. Then you would talk to customers. People would be rude to you. They'd be touching your hair. They'd be like, "You got a wig on." I'm like, "Ma'am, I don't have a wig on." And you're kind of like dealing with this every day. And at the end of it, you make the same amount of money that you would have made online. And so I kind of was like, I'm spending so much more money doing these events than I'm actually making. So I started to like really be anti in-person events because of how high the cost was. But I had never had an event where I had my best customers at that event. And then all of a sudden I realized that I've been missing this in-person element of community in our business. And so that's what I'm focused on this year, is really building our community and building those in-person connections.